Hi, I am Roxy. I am here to ask you to do something for Steve6464. Can you watch as much of the video that you can? Then before you leave a comment. Make it a critique, a constructive criticism. Thanks. Oh, he's about to start. Bye.
Foxtrot Delta Tango, Foxtrot Delta Tango. Alright, let's try it there. If why aren't I getting one of my cameras? Because it's not on. There we go. Alright, Foxtrot Delta Tango, let's try it there. If it's too loud, say something. If it's too soft, say something. But yes, hi, I am Steve6464. This is season 13 of Let's Build This, part 22, finishing a 15-year-old project. And there she is. You can also see her in the insert in the upper left. So before we get started, let's see what we did last week. Foxtrot Delta Tango, Foxtrot Delta Tango. That sounds pretty good. Looks like we're at minus 9.2 OBs. I'm not sure our decibels. That's not, no. It's gotta be a lowercase d, huh? Whatever. Alright, so let's switch scenes and let's get building. Alright. Back at my work table. Right. Alright, I'm a little concerned about the upper left camera. I want to show less of me and more of the project. And to do that, let's select it. I go to transform, edit transform. Alright, I'm going to bring this over to my main screen so it's easier to see. And I want to crop it more on the left. And uncrop it more on the right. 775. 100. I'm gonna make this instead of 1,900. 300. 500. 550. No, I want to go the other way. 450. 450. 4,100 or whatever I accidentally typed. Yeah, that might be a little better. Can I make it bigger? Okay, well, that's gonna have to do. All right. So, start out as we always start out, is filtering our thinner. Stop that. So we need our funnel, coffee filter, funnel, coffee filter, and we pour our thinner into, yeah, there's some sediment in there, so we're doing something. Close this up. That gets a warm soapy water wash later on. So we'll funnel cap this and save it for later. Alright, cap this and save it for later. Okay, you can hear me. Okay. We're not using any regular thinner. And this is what we're using. Get it mixed. Grab our brush. And we are working, we're going to cover the bottom part of the fuselage. Alright. First we want to carefully cut off the excess from last week. without poking any holes. And is my fat head in the way? No, it doesn't appear to be. Okay. Anybody has any suggestion on how they would like the cameras aimed? Please say something in the side chat or the comments later on. Any help on how I can make this more pleasant, more viewable, would be greatly appreciated. Come on, stop slipping off. Why does it seem darker here to me today? I wonder if I can move this light. Okay. Now I'm thinking about leaving this very back section uncovered because I might need to stick some clay in there to help balance it. I think you're supposed to take, see, this is really top heavy, front heavy. Or am I supposed to balance it from here? Which isn't too bad, but when we get there we'll read the instructions and see what the instructions say, how it's supposed to be balanced. And what do the instructions say for covering the bottom side here? It doesn't say anything. this part, this little writing here doesn't say anything about the bottom side. But what does the instructions say? Fuselage. Cover the fuselage in sections as shown on the scheme, starting from front or from B1 and covering vertically between forms. The grain of the tissue should run lengthwise with the fuselage. The grain of the tissue runs with the width of the tissue sheet as you reveal it and receive it in the kit. Wing, tail section. Doesn't say anything about the bottom of the fuselage. I'm wondering if I can do this then in one piece. Or will the dope dry before I get there? Well, let's try it. Alright, so at the widest point it is 2 1/8. 2 1/8. 2 1/2. They'll give me an 1/8 inch overlap on the other side, right? So front 2 1/2. Pack. Inch and 1/8. And the length is 9. Another 9 1/4 on that. Alright, let's cut our tissue. And I need something big enough to run that whole length. Let's try the clipboard here. It would work. It will work this way. And I need a triangle big enough. And I just dropped something to the floor. It's gonna have to wait until later. Okay. Even this is too freaking short. I'll be damned. Okay. So what did I say? I said 2.5 inches. Okay. Sharpie. The grain is running this way. Ruler. Inches, not centimeters. 2.5 inches. Half of 2.5. 1.25. Because we don't want the grain to be angled. We want it to be we want it to run down this ribbing. An inch and a quarter. Okay, so then we said inch and an eighth. First we want 9.25. Okay, we're going to start at the 1, so we want 10.25. And then down here 10.25, which actually is 9.25. But anyhow, yep. Alright, then from the center line, inch and an eighth, ½ inch and a 1/16. 7/16. Right, no, it's 9/16. A little fat on that. Okay. We're still going to need the bigger triangle. From the corner to the dot. And we cut. And this has to be at the edge. Okay, so from the corner, from the edge there to the dot. Oh, I messed up. God bless it. So, we start over again. Over and over. And the grain is running this way. Two and a half. Half of 2 1/2 is 1 1/4. 1 1/4. Okay. 9/16. Make that a little fat. 9/16. It's a good thing I did mess that up, because I might have measured wrong. All right. So let's cut this out this time without the knife slipping. Keep hitting this. Oh, hi Roy. How you doing? I wasn't streaming last week. Took Easter off. Oh no, yeah, it was the week before. I was out of town. It was the 5th. I didn't. No, let's see. This is the 12th. Last week was Easter, which was the 5th. I streamed on the 5th. The week before, whatever Sunday that was, I was off. It's not that I measured wrong, my knife slipped. Crimson clover, over and over. I'm glad you're doing good. Hey, there's a nasty rumor going around at work that you got married. Is that true? Or just a nasty rumor? Triangle. Do not try to catch sharp falling stuff. I won't tell your girlfriend if you don't. Congratulations then. And I'm going to save the clipboard just in case I need to cut something that big again. Alright, let's glue this up. See how this is going to fit first. Yeah, that should fit fine. Just fine. Thank you. I thought everyone knew already. Yeah, I think they did. I think I found out from Herman. So I'm just going to give the outside ribs and the cross ribs a second coat, and the center rib Then what I'm going to do is wet my brush and then tap down the tissue from the top, letting the glue soak through. Too much. I think it was Herman, but I can't remember. It's been a few weeks. Alright, that looks pretty good. So thinner here. Do just a basic cleaning. Alright. Carefully flip this over. And let's see what the instructions say for the wings. Probably put away some of the stuff I'm not using. Alright, wing. On straight tapered wings, you can cover the complete top and bottom of each wing panel between the dihedral brake and the last tip rib. Alright. I think the dihedral brake is this part here. So I believe these were built in sections. And I know right here they want that clear acetate. That's so the pilot can see above him. What is 4 views? Well, there's me, one of my sock accounts, and you, Roy, who's the, if there is a 4th person watching this, please just say hi. On the straight tapered wings, you can cover the complete top and bottom of each wing panel between the dihedral brake and the last tip rib with one piece of tissue. Use separate pieces of tissue for the top and bottom of the center section and the tips. Elliptical wings like the Spitfire must be covered with separate pieces of tissue between each rib and from the leading edge to the trailing edge. The grain of the tissue must always run spanwise on the wing. Okay, so the grain must run this way, if I understand that correctly. And apparently these are not straight tapered wings because they went out of their way to mention Spitfire. Oh, this isn't the Spitfire. This ain't a Spitfire. This is the Sopwith Camel. Alright, so I most likely can put the tissue paper on the way the first part of this paragraph had suggested. On straight tapered wings, you can cover the complete top and bottom of each wing panel between the dihedral brake and the last tip rib with one piece of tissue. Okay, I'm going to interpret the instructions the best that I can. And I understand it to mean on this plane, which is not a Spitfire, that I can cover this part in one piece, this center part in one piece, and again this part in one piece. And I'm not going to do the clear piece here until after I paint it. The autocorrect is a pain, especially when you don't realize it's correcting. Alright, and this is a curved surface, so I'm going to use the fabric tape. Alright, and the first part, remind me to subtract 1, is 5 3/4, 4 3/4. But I want to go fat, so I'm going to do 5 inches wide. Let's still play down here. Yeah, 5 inches will still work. There, that way. And the length is okay, 11 inches minus 1 inch, 10 inches. And I forgot to write it down. What did I say for the first measurement? All right. Length, I said, was 10 inches. And the width is 5 inches. And the grain has to run this way. Yeah, the YouTube analytics for the live stream says there's 4 viewers. And I'm going to need the clipboard. Alright, so I said 10 inches. I'm going to use the other end here, maybe. I can get 10 inches out of that. Square that up. Alright, and the grain is going this way, said 5 inches. Let me square this up too. Deep. And 10 inches, you need the 1 inch, so that would be 11 inches. And as always, going to make that a little fat. Oh, I think I know what confused you. Because I did say in that one post that I might also take Easter off. But last minute I decided not to. My wife was still working her second job and really wouldn't have much of an Easter celebration. Could have probably cut the one for this side at the same time. But why would I do something as silly as that? Making that sense. Right. Well, that should fit just like that. Plenty of extra room in case something goes crooked. And what did I do with my brush? Bells. I know I didn't put it. There it is. Nope, that's not it. These aren't it. Did I knock it to the... Did I knock it off? I mean, I have other brushes I can use. when it comes to cleaning up later, there it is. Alright, so I am doping from here to here. See if we can keep this thing from bouncing around a bit. Alright, put a second coat on this piece, the outside. That's where I started. And this piece here. And maybe do that. And place our tissue paper. And the dogs are at it again. do the same wet brush that I did on the bottom. Probably dry my brush a bit before doing that. Now when I wet this and then let it dry, it should pull out some of that slack, make it nice and tight. Trying to get it to fold over. it's not only being glued to the top, but it's also getting glued to the edge. Okay. Cover that up. Give the brush a quick cleaning so the dope doesn't completely dry and harden the brush in the meantime. Put the brush there so I don't knock it off the table again. Cover things up so I'm not breathing a lot of toxic stuff. Set this aside. Get a drink. Coke, nothing else. And cut another 5 by 10. Ruler. Give a guy an inch and he thinks he's a ruler. Alright, so that's yeah, that's 5 inches. I'd share it with you, Roy, but I think you're going to have to get your own. I think I will take this opportunity to just clean this whole section up. And I just do this. Strictly. Oh, now the autocorrect lets me type drink, but I couldn't type viewer before. Yeah, I think it all depends on what it thinks you're trying to say. It's trying to think for you. And it doesn't do that good of a job. And the grain is running this way. And this should be 10 inches. At least that's what she thought. Alright. Big enough piece to save. Save. Stop hitting the top-down camera. And this covers that part. Let's get our jars again. And our brush that I didn't lose this time, and our dope. Daddy, 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 I watched this guy working on a balsa airplane and he kept pushing dope. Watch, I get a content strike. Okay, for that second coat, we're going to do the main ribs on the outside. And these big areas. I'll come back to the wet brush. And get areas that aren't laying down as good as they should. And I think I'll get this piece here. Oh wait, I don't want to clean this yet, because I'm going to come back. Alright. Alright. too much. I don't remember missing this one, but maybe I did. This way, top down with it. Doesn't look like I had much overhang on the front. So we'll just have to see how this dries. And how much strength when it gets wet. Take a moment, collect myself, get another drink. Am I even in? I think I cropped myself out too much on the top left. Oh well. Okay. So, the center section. I'm going to do this in one piece, and then when it's all dry, even after I wet it, then I'm going to cut this out for the clear acetate. Right? Does that sound like a plan? Okay. So from here to there, 8.5. Right. So I'm going to go 8 3/4. And 8 3/4. Should still be 5 inches, all right? Get our tissue paper. This section would be, no, it's far from it. Okay. And 5 inches. Does that take us? That takes us into the tear there. The terror there. Let's measure from this. Did I say 5? 8 3/4. Excuse me, 8 3/4 brings us to here. And I think we're still going to have to deal with this missing piece. Inches, not centimeters. And always keep it a bit fat. Grain's going this way. And 8 3/4. Which would be 9 3/4 because I'm starting at an inch. This might be the last piece for today. Right, and that should fit. Right there. A little tighter fit. Than what I've had on some of the other pieces. But we'll make it work. Excuse me. I think the fumes are starting to get to me. If I start yelling, the purple mushrooms are going to eat me. You know, it's time that I need some fresh air. All right, let's focus here. All right, the second coat. Again, I'm just going to get the exterior and some of the bigger ribs. I prefer my ribs just salted and peppered. I don't like barbecue sauce. But that's up to you. Get this where the window's going to be. let's set this up like this. I'm going to turn it. And let's get this covered. Yeah, I cut that a little, I cut the length a little too short for my comfort. Okay, get the area where the window is going to go. Alright, turn this around, get the front. And I think this is all I'm going to do today. Let this dry up. I'll trim this up next week. Don't need to rush things. just going to have to eat them first. I don't get that. Eat what first? What did I say that might have brought that about? Alright, so this is it for this week. Let me return to the desk, switch my screens around. Thank you, Roy, for keeping me company today. Always a pleasure seeing one. There we go. Do you like the up the nose cam? Planning eventually to get an extension cord and maybe put it at the back end of the work table, so you'll be looking this way at what's going on. The giant purple, right, the giant purple mushroom that we're going to eat you because you inhaled too much fumes. Yes. But that may even, that could make the hallucination even deeper. More fun. Alright, so, yep, thank you, Roy. Thank you for everyone else who is watching but has remained silent for making it this far. Those of you who are watching in the future, again, thank you for making it this far. And, yeah, have a good day. Be safe. I'll make sure I'm going to click the right thing. Okay, have a good day. Be safe. Be a friend to someone who needs a friend. And the last thing I have to say is...
Look! An echo chamber of derp. Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp.
Gravity is not a force.
Foxtrot Delta Tango. Foxtrot Delta Tango. I almost forgot. I won't be streaming for the next 2 weeks. I'll be on a small vacation. So, like May 3rd or something, I'll be back. So until then, have a good day. Be safe. Be a friend to someone who needs a friend. And the last thing I have to say is...
Look! An echo chamber of derp. Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp. Derp, 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 derp,
Gravity is not a force.
I am the next new
Jerp, 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 jerp.